sensational results from the Mars. The red planet can be losing all of its atmosphere. Latest discovery by NASA's Mars orbiter indicates that the planet is gradually losing its atmosphere. The findings are among the first returns from NASA's Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution mission, a so-called MAVEN mission. MAVEN started sending science data on November 16, 2014. The observations reveal a new process by which the solar wind can penetrate deep into a planetary atmosphere. They include the first comprehensive measurements of the composition of Mars' upper atmosphere, and electrically charged ionosphere. The results also offer an unprecedented view of ions as they gain the energy that will lead to their escape from the atmosphere. On each orbit around Mars, MAVEN dips into the ionosphere, into the layer of ions and electrons extending from about 75 to 300 miles above the surface. This layer serves as a kind of shield around the planet, deflecting the solar wind, an intense stream of hot, high-energy particles from the Sun. Scientists have long thought that measurements of the solar wind could be made only before these particles hit the invisible boundary of the ionosphere. MAVEN's solar wind ion analyzer, however, has discovered a stream of solar wind particles that are not deflected but penetrate deep into Mars' upper atmosphere and ionosphere. Interactions in the upper atmosphere appear to transform this stream of ions into a neutral form that can penetrate to surprisingly low altitudes. New insight into how gases leave the atmosphere is being provided by the spacecraft's suprathermal and thermal ion composition instrument. Within hours after being turned on at Mars, the instrument detected the polar plume of ions escaping from the Mars. This measurement is important in determining the rate of atmospheric loss of the planet. As the satellite dips down into the atmosphere, the instrument's detectors identify the cold ionosphere at closest approach and subsequently measure the heating of this charged gas to escape velocities. The energized ions ultimately break free of the planet's gravity as they move along a plume that extends behind Mars. This new discovery poses outstanding questions about our beloved red planet. Will Mars eventually lose all of its atmosphere? Is this possible after all? On the other hand, if we can remember, Mars once had a magnetic field that had by now long disappeared. Well, who knows? Stay tuned for new results from NASA space missions. If they get enough funding, of course.
Like, dislike, subscribe, or share this video with your friends.